So the Stainless Works 1 7/8 catted performance headers that I'm talking about today are perfect if you own a 14 to 18 Silverado or Sierra with the 5.3 or the 6.2 motor and you want to invest in a new exhaust system from engine to bumper that provides awesome sound and performance while keeping you street legal in most states thanks to these bad boys right here. Now I would personally recommend these larger diameter headers if you already have some bolt-on mods and you're already making more power over stock, which I'll touch on shortly. But more importantly, these are going to open up your exhaust with a really deep and lopey idle, and they're going to offer the kind of sound that a bolt-on catback and a factory-wide pipe simply cannot muster. Now installing headers like these is a rather involved job, guys, so honestly I'm going to give this a solid 3 out of 3 wrenches on my old difficulty meter, and I wager it'll take you an honest day's work with a buddy, maybe a 6-pack to get both sides bolted up. Now, unlike shorty headers, long tubes do promise to add some power, so let's talk about that first. Now, the larger 7/8 diameter that these headers come with is again recommended if you're considering forced induction later on, or if your truck has at least minor bolt-ons like I already said, and that's simply because a bone stock truck might actually lose some low-end throttle response with a larger diameter setup like this. Now, if you want Stainless Works long tubes for the sound, but you want to keep your truck stock otherwise, then I'd recommend looking at the 3/4 inch version of these headers just so you keep some of that low-end performance in check. Now, next up is the Performance versus the Factory Connect option. And this Performance Connect kit features a really badass new X-pipe and it ditches that factory exhaust system entirely. So these headers are for you if you want to also spring for a new custom catback. Now, if that doesn't sound like you, again, be sure to check out the Factory Connect version instead. And lastly, the high flow cats on this system will allow you to skate by on most emissions testing in most states, save for some of those more scrutinous locales like California, and that's only because their testing is so strict. Now, otherwise, you're probably good to daily your truck without worrying about that inspection sticker if you opt for these headers. And on the note of emissions, Stainless Works is nice enough to throw in some new O2 extensions, so you don't need to get squirrely or crazy with wiring up anything or adding in your own extensions. Now obviously build quality is on point too, that's no surprise coming from Stainless Works. We see really nice clean welds throughout, you got laser cut flanges for the heads, really smooth primaries and collectors, and very cleanly bent tubing throughout, and everything's made from 304 stainless, pretty much the best steel you can buy. Now the X-pipe is also fabbed up pretty nicely and it'll definitely provide that really raspy growl at redline that a factory H-pipe simply cannot afford. And I'm talking about the install. Getting headers on like these has something of a stigma or a reputation behind it, and Stainless Works does an excellent job of making sure that these things fit up pretty much perfectly, so there's no need for hammering or excessively bloody knuckles. Now, you'll still need the whole toolbox for this one, guys, and again, breaking the studs loose on your manifolds means that this gets a solid 3 out of 3 wrenches on my difficulty meter. I would honestly only tackle this if you have some experience turning wrenches, or if you enjoy a small challenge and you want the pride of saying you did it yourself. Now with that said, you thankfully don't have to pull your motor mounts or permanently modify anything, so the toughest part will be getting those studs loose. Just be sure to have some heat and maybe some PB blaster handy, and it's very helpful to have some swivel sockets and a breaker bar to get things started. Now obviously it goes without saying that yes, the Stainless Works kit I'm talking about today is a little pricey, coming in just south of the $2,000 price point, but you are definitely getting what you pay for based on everything I've talked about today. And that just about wraps up my review of the Stainless Works 1 7/8 inch catted performance Connect headers. Keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.